We are back. Welcome back to McCoy Van Noy, presented by Toyota, official automotive partner of the NFL. I am one half of your gracious host, none other than Gerald McCoy, the 93rd wonder of the world, big chest from the Midwest, the one that never fails. I only thrive because I'm from the south side of the 405. And my gracious co-host is...
your handsome boy, Kyle Van Noy, with the smile and the two-piece on Sunday. I am also a two-time Super Bowl champ and currently playing for the Ravens. Let's get it. How are we doing today?
Let's get it, man. Hey, I'm doing great. I'm sure you doing great. Hey, that was a big win. I got a little nervous. I got to say, Killer, I got a little nervous. I ain't going to lie to you, but hey, y'all pulled it out. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to talk about Antonio Pierce and what he said. We're going to give a little clarity on what he said and kind of talk about from the player standpoint. But first, let's talk about Monday Night Football real quick.
Let's talk about it.
The Jags in Buffalo. Okay, now, for all of y'all, they gave me a hard time because I said something that I didn't say. I said and believe is that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in all of football. I said it's Patrick Mahomes. What I said was, if a person argues that Josh Allen or believes that Josh Allen is the best quarterback in football, you can't be upset. Last night he showed that Josh Allen did whatever he felt like last night, and he doesn't have the same weapons, but he is the weapon. He's the ultimate weapon. Man, that guy was willing and he was dealing, and he made a clear distinction that there's levels. There's Josh Allen's, there's Patrick Mahomes's, there's Lamar Jackson's, and there's Trevor Lawrence's. He made a clear distinction. It's levels, player. It's levels. How you feel, Killer?
I mean, for me, when I watched the game, because that's who we're playing on Sunday this week, what stood out to me was the protection. I feel like Josh Allen had so much time back there to throw. He wasn't really rattled at all. And then they got the run game going a little bit with Cook, who's playing really good football. Mm-hmm. And then Josh Allen, like you said, is on a different level right now. He's playing at an MVP level. I think he took what everybody said from the league. I don't know who, was doing those. I don't know where it came from, but people said he was overrated, but clearly he took that to heart. He showed that when he was speaking on a Fox TV show with Shady and that group of guys, where he was like, I heard it, and I'm just going to keep doing me. And it's impressive. He's backing up like, hey, I'm here. And it's awesome to watch as a football fan, but we got to get ready to play him. And, we got to do our best to slow him down this weekend.
Yeah, man. And this is how I see it. If you give me some ingredients in the kitchen, right, I can take those ingredients and make what I can make. But if you take an award-winning chef and give him them same ingredients, he can create a masterpiece. And a lot of people don't understand there's people that are at levels that can take the same ingredients somebody else had and create a masterpiece. I wouldn't say it's a masterpiece, but i.e. Andy Dalton, how he played. And we're going to get into that. But I'm just saying, you take somebody with the same ingredients that know how to use them, that's what Josh Allen is. And that's not to take away from the weapons that he has. It just goes to show how good he is.
I think, too, their OC Brady's been calling awesome play calls for him. Just being able to, really show off his talented arm he has, really see the field, complimentary of running it when they need to, play action as well as just drop back, just the mix of what he's doing and then putting pressure on defenses. I think he's doing a really good job of that, and he's making it hard on defensive coordinators. I mean, Jacksonville was off balance all night. I know they had a couple injuries in the secondary, but man, it was a clinic last night.
Yeah, and it seems like they went from, losing Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis to like adding 5 weapons. 3.
But Dalton Kincaid,
that's what I'm saying. They got 2 tight ends that are legit. James Cook is legit. They got young wide receivers, but as long as Josh Allen is at the helm, and to your point, before we move on, the play calling. I think the reason Josh Allen was throwing so many interceptions because he was forcing things, trying to make things happen. The play calling got real stagnant. So he was doing everything, trying to be Superman or having to be, because he was having to find a way to make a play. And now he's able to move the ball around. He ran and scrambled when he had to, not because he was forced to.
And he slid, though, G. You
That's
saw
what
that?
I'm saying.
Yeah.
So he's not trying to kill his body just because he has to make this play, not doing it no more. So that makes Buffalo scary. Now I switch over to the other Monday Night Football game. The Washington Commanders versus Cincinnati Bengals. Now, when you go into this game, there's two LSU Heisman Trophy winners. The one you would expect to play better is not who it was. That boy Jaden Daniels. Hey, there's a lot of people before the season that said probably by mid-season, we're going to be saying Jaden Daniels probably should have been a number one pick. And through 3 weeks, that's what it's looking like. That dude,
he's balling. Man,
the way he's so poised, he never gets rattled. Last week, he went on a game-winning drive. He still hasn't thrown a pick. Last night, finally got in the end zone. I mean, he is dealing, man. At that throw, he made the scary Terry, knowing he was going to take a hit, and he dropped it in the bucket. That I said in the preseason when I was on the network, I said, Jaden Daniels throws one of the prettiest footballs I've seen in a long time. That dude can spin that football, man, and he's leading that team. Dan Quinn really got that defense going, and I'm excited to see what they do moving forward.
Yeah, well, something that popped off to me in that game was how everybody rallied around Jaden.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
It's his football team as a rookie, like the swag, the guys celebrating. You see him on the sideline. I saw a clip of Scary Terry talking about if it's one-on-one, like, you can trust me. And he's like, yes. You know, they're just getting excited at the end of the game. You know, Jaden Daniels telling all the fans to go home. Like, you like that in a quarterback. You like that fire, and he is playing like it. It's awesome to see him have success as a rookie. I can only imagine how hard that is, but you know, Cliff Kingsbury's giving him options and doing really well, making easy reads and just seeing the field. He's really just seeing the field very, very well as a rookie. And then I will rebuttal a little bit is I think Joe Burrow did play pretty well. I mean, they scored 33 points. Like, they just had to play perfect.
He played good, yeah.
And I know a lot of people are saying Joe Burrow didn't play all that great. I think that's crazy to say. He did play good. They just didn't play well enough complementary football. They didn't get enough stops. But when you score 33 points, like, you're still giving your team a chance to win the game. They just happened to score. The Washington Commanders scored 38, which is a lot of points. But Jaden Daniels is impressive, man. The other impressive stat going along with that is they haven't punted in 2 games, G.
That's insane.
Like, woo!
That's insane.
That means they scoring points and they're marching down the field. I mean, not punting in 2 games is pretty crazy. And then I would like to know what your thoughts were on the Bengals cornerback, I believe Taylor Britt, just saying that it's a college offense, and then you had the coach say we can't make we can't have conversations like that. We need to, tone that down. How do you feel about that? Hearing that from a coach and then being a player that's saying those type of things in the media?
Sometimes it's okay to voice your opinion, but there are times and places to say certain things. And if you feel a way about a person or an offense, you need to, one, not give people bulletin board material. Nobody needs any extra motivation or added motivation. But some things need to just be said in-house. Like, oh, we feel this way. Like, there was something said to me by Baker about Denver this past week.
And Tom?
Huh?
And Tom, right? Didn't he say something about Tom?
No, I'm talking about I did an interview with Baker this past week on NFL Network.
Oh, okay.
And Baker shared something with me about a way they felt about something that Denver said. He didn't say it in the media. He told me. And sometimes you have to feel a way about something and just play that way. And then after the game is over or whatever, you got to be careful with what you do and what you say, because then you give the media a foothold, you give the other team a foothold, and if you don't win, it just looks away. So you got to be careful, man. Like, there's some people who are so great at what they do. Like, Dion was able to say whatever and then go out there. Like, I remember when, I'm sure you remember when Ocho Cinco was like sending gifts to the other DBs and like, like had a checklist of like who was covering them, and he was like marking them off in his locker. Like, he was good enough to do stuff like that, you know, and that's all in fun. That's what made him Ocho Cinco. That's what made him a star. But you got to be careful. And you also don't want to create a rift between you and your coach, because now you saying this and then your coach is ridiculing you, or y'all going against each other in the media. Now that's something that's public that can be dealt with behind closed doors. I.e., that leads us into our next subject. Antonio Pierce. He talked about the game they just had versus the Carolina Panthers. Andy Dalton had his way with the Raiders. Before I say that, let me just say Max was hurt. Let me throw that out there. Max was hurt. He's dealing with a little ankle. So he wasn't Max like what we seen. I know everybody like, well, he just did this to the Ravens. What happened? He hurt his ankle, all right? He was questionable to even play. But Andy Dalton showed that.
Big Red.
Andy Dalton, Big Red. I keep telling people who say whatever they say about Andy Dalton, man, that dude can ball, man. It's the only thing is Andy Dalton struggles to make it sustainable. But that dude, are people forgetting how many times he took his team to the playoffs?
Yeah, to the playoffs.
I think they're forgetting, and he did that as a rookie. Like, Andy Dalton wasn't no slouch. He's not one of these guys that couldn't win, and he's a journeyman and all that. Yeah, he's a journeyman now, but he was a starting quarterback in Cincinnati for a long time, and they won a lot of games there. So
he threw that rock too.
Yeah, and people are forgetting that. So he showed.
It's crazy how fast it can go. Like, people forgetting.
Yeah.
Like, I mean.
But Andy, he showed what he can do. And, you know, Antonio Pierce felt the way about the game. Felt like guys kind of shut it down or, you know, didn't play. Everybody didn't show up to play. And he used the term, some guys made business decisions, so we will too. I'll give what I believe that meant, and then I'll give the player standpoint on it on my end, and then you can give yours. When we talk about business decisions, we make jokes at times from players when a person passes up a hit. It was like, ooh, that was like if it's a DB and Derrick Henry's running at him, and he like turns sideways or kind of duck a little bit or go low and kind of, oh, I missed. We say, that was a business decision. What I think Antonio Pierce meant is they're getting beat, things are not going the way they're going, and guys kind of just shut it down.
Yeah, not responding well enough like you would want.
Yeah, and you can see that on film. And what he's saying is we'll adjust accordingly, meaning we run a business. We have to win games. So if you're not going to play up to par, if you're not going to give us everything you got throughout the entirety of the game, if you're not going to do your job, if you're not playing with effort, if you have bad body language, et cetera, okay, we'll act accordingly. You making a business decision, you feel like the game's over or this ain't going our way, so I'm going to shut it down a little bit or I'm going to do what I want. Okay, then here we go. We're going to set you out. We're going to bring somebody else in, or we're going to move you down, move him up. That's what I think it meant. I don't know how you feel, but that's just how I feel.
Yeah, I'd piggyback off that. I think it just came down to effort from what he said. I think he just wants his team to go out, even if you're losing, to go out fighting, scratching, crawling, doing whatever it takes to get back into the game and try to win the game. I mean, that's how I saw it too.
Yeah, and I want to speak to something real quick, man. This is a Gerald gripe before we continue with the parade, because I gotta get. I like
when you have some gripes. I can't wait. You got me all like.
I got a gripe,
what
bro.
Is it?
I got a gripe. We gonna get to this Ravens parade and my dog. We're going to get to
Okay.
the fact that my dog was back-to-back 2 pieces. But just give me a second. Let me get this off my chest. Football is getting soft. I'm not a beat around the bush, tiptoe type guy. Football is getting soft. We're getting to the point. I already talked about analytics. Analytics is ruining the game.
Yeah, I'm on that one
Nick
too.
Sirianni just passed up multiple points again. Almost cost him the game. Off analytics. Take the points.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about the Falcons too?
Hey, killer. Trust me. This is a slow roast, baby. I'm getting there. Okay, so let's go back to Saturday. And here's to my OU fans. I love my school. There's not a bigger advocate for my school out there, but I'm not fake. I'm a realist. We got on the inch-yard line and tried to run a freaking zone play. Instead of getting the quarterback under center and just run a QB sneak. How about a fullback dive? How about an old school power? What happened to that type of football? Killer, to your point, Atlanta is fourth in inches, something like that. And they try to run an outside zone with Bijan Robinson.
It also goes to your point about the analytics where you were talking about where they could have potentially kicked the field goal. It could have been 22-20 with about 4-ish minutes left.
Yes.
Like, I don't know what the analytics are there, but it goes to your point about just taking the points.
Just take the points. But then they get the ball. It's 4th and inches. You got Bijan Robinson. I know he's elusive and all this, but he's a strong back. It's a Texas running back. I talk a lot of noise about Texas, but their running backs are very physical backs.
Yeah.
4th and inches, and you run a zone play?
With Nick Bolton, free runner, just tackling practice.
Some people say, well, Kirk Cousins, he's getting a little older. You don't want it. Man, Tom Brady ran QB sneaks until he's 45 years old. You mean tell me Kirk Cousins couldn't run a quick QB sneak? Why do you think nobody can stop freaking Philly in the brotherly shove or whatever they calling it? It's a physical play. And what's happening is, and for me, for defensive tackles, Killer's the outside linebacker. We play the same, but we play different. For defensive tackles, I always say, and this is just me being biased, but I truly believe this, my era of defensive tackles is the greatest of all time. We have so many that were dominant for so long. I feel like this next crop of defensive tackles, these coaches and these schemes are ruining these guys, and they're really hurting what they can be because of the schemes they're in. There's a lot of 3-man fronts where D linemen are playing lateral and doing this 2-gapping and playing sideways instead of getting upfield, destroying stuff. And this new crop of defensive tackles are way more athletic than we were. Why the heck is Jordan Davis 800 pounds running the 4.3? That makes no sense. And you take a person like that and make him move sideways. Why? It doesn't make sense to me. Everything is going left to right. Get upfield. Even the offenses, everything. And here's what's happening. They're bringing more DBs in because the offense is changing so much RPO and zone stuff. They're trying to get people in them zones to play the RPO. But the zones, how do you kill lateral movement? Penetration. So anybody out there, and you can clip this, anybody out there that thinks that I'm lying, go look at how many rush yards it's been. It's a record-breaking 3 weeks of rushing. Record-breaking.
I think that goes back to where people are zigging, teams are zagging. I think, comes to mind are the Chargers. Right now, they're getting a big personnel and just running the ball.
That's it.
And teams aren't really practicing that because most teams now are pass first.
I'm telling you.
And so I think, you're going to continue to see people run the ball because it's what you're not defending as much anymore. You're defending more passes, but I think a lot of teams are starting to zag right now, like you're saying.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
It's getting bad, man. I seen so many roughing the passer penalties this weekend where I'm like, come on, man. It's a routine takedown. How is that a roughing the passer? It's just I understand protecting players. I fully understand it. Like even this hip drop, it's so hard to gauge a hip drop as a player because it's like you got Derrick freaking Henry running the ball. He's going to drag me down the field if I don't do something. And if you've never been out there and seen these people run full speed, like I watched Lamar get out in the open field and I watched Micah run him down. And I said, first off, Micah shouldn't be that fast. First and foremost, he should not.
He's fast.
Lamar took off running and Micah hawked him down. They was going step for step. I said, all right, I don't know where Micah was created, what lab he came out of, but that dude can run.
He's fast.
But if that's somebody else and Lamar's running away from him and I have to get him on the ground, it's very hard to think about how I'm taking him down and all. Because if I don't, these are the greatest athletes in the world. They're going to drag me down the field. So it's a lot that the game is just changing. And I don't want this new crop of defensive tackles to think I'm saying that they're not good. I'm saying the game and how these schemes are is a detriment to you guys, and it's taken away from how great y'all can be. I love to see great defensive tackles get busy. But right now, all this 4-point stances everybody's in is to play this RPO side-to-side stuff instead of getting in a good old-fashioned 3-point stance and getting upfield and messing something up. The game just ain't. It's changing, man, on both sides of the ball,
too,
offensively and defensively.
I think to your point too, I'd go to say some of that has to do with scheme.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't know how many teams are get off the rock and just be disruptive. I know you got the Texans, the Niners. I think Jacksonville's like that. I think the Packers are like that. I'm just curious what your thoughts of that, because a lot of teams I feel like are 3-4, and then you're getting a little bit more college scheme where a lot of colleges right now are doing that 3-3-5 stuff. So to your point, I just think more teams are going to start zagging by continuing to run the ball, and defenses will evolve, and I think we'll get back to what you're saying is getting off the rock and being disruptive.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's the schemes that's happening. People are, because the RPO game is taking over, they're trying to get people in them zones. So they're running these 3-3-5s, and it's taking defensive linemen off the field. And you need guys that can get hands on and keep linemen on the line so these backers can run. And it's just, I guess I'm just biased towards defensive linemen, man. I've never been a guy that I'm holding up linemen for you to go make a play. I can go make a play too as long as it's within the scheme. Now, if it calls for me in a bump scoop, which is, for the audience, where the guard and the tackle come together and they get on different levels, the guard is running through my inside shoulder trying to work up to the linebacker. At that point, I have to keep my hands on the guard so the backer can run through the gap. Because if I let him up too fast, you're going to get what we seen with the Saints and the Cowboys. They were creating seams because they were letting the guards up to the backers too fast. And now you got Alvin Kamara getting downhill. Or you got Bijan Robinson versus Philly last week getting downhill because they're creating all these seams because the guards are getting up. I don't mind when you do it that way. But if it's a fast zone away and that guard is taking off and this tackle is right here and he can get upfield and go make a play, why not? But like you said, Killer, it's the schemes, and it bothers me. But I tell you what don't bother me. Max is balling. My guy Gink got back to the quarterback again. But most importantly, you say it one more time. Most importantly, you know what? Let me just say it 4 times. Most importantly, my guy Killer got a 4-piece right now. He's back-to-back 2 pieces. Hey, America, stop eating all this fast food. But if you're going to go get some chicken, make sure you get no less than a 2-piece. That's what my guy Killer is doing right now. 2-piece. My dog is balling.
We just trying to make a living, man. Just trying to show the people we still got it.
That's it. Man, hold up. Is he doing it with an eye patch? God dang, Nick Fury is out there getting busy. Ooh.
Yeah, Cyclops.
Yeah.
No, On the real though, G, I really took things personal. Like, I know everybody tells you don't take it personal in the league. It's just business. And I'm like, nah, I'm the opposite. I take everything personal. Like, it matters that much to me. I took it personal that I was on the couch last year until about week 4. So at this time last year, I just got on a team. And I took it personal because I'm like, people around the league don't think I'm a good football player or don't think I'm worth the money to pay. And it's, I have a huge chip on my shoulder. Like, nah, like I can play. Like, I feel like, I can play at a Pro Bowl level with the best of them. And I've always thought that. I've always am going to feel that way. And I'm just going to continue to try to get better each and every game, not only for myself, but for my team. And, it is what it is. I think, too, this scheme has allowed me to have my potential come out a little bit as far as rushing, which is awesome. At other places, it was different. I was playing off the ball for a lot of years. And then injuries happened and I got forced to play on the ball with no real practice or off season. Now in the off season, I'm grinding rushing. In the season, I'm just focused on rushing. And so that's been awesome for me. And, I'm just going to try to keep getting better, G. That's the one thing about me. I'm never satisfied. And, there's a lot more work to do. I missed a couple too in the game. I could have had 3 or 4. So for me, it's back to work mentality and just keep getting better. But that chip's never going to leave. I just feel like I've been, counted out and underrated in this league, and I'm just going to keep trying to wake them up, make doubters believers, MOB type stuff.
I hear you, player. And I was always taught, the great ones win. The goal is to win 70% of your rushes. You're not going to win them all, but the goal is to win 70% of your rushes because winning a rush doesn't automatically mean you're getting the sack. But you are putting pressure on the quarterback, and the more you win, the more opportunities to get the sack. And there's different ways to get it. Sometimes you come free. Sometimes we run stunts. Sometimes you win your one-on-one. Sometimes it's just with effort. But I was always taught by the great Joe Cullen, who's the defensive line coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, it's working for them. He always taught me you never know when your sack is going to come. So it's the play that you take off where it's like, oh, that was the one. So you never take plays off. So that mindset you got, killer, is why you've been balling the way you've been balling, the why it's going to continue and definitely going to need it on Sunday. Definitely going to need it on Sunday because, goddamn, y'all got alien coming into town. And if y'all going to slow this dude down, we need killer. But before we continue, let's take a quick commercial break. Hear from our sponsors who keep our chains moving, and then we're going to get back into it, baby. We'll see you in just a second.
We are back from break. This next segment, can it last? And we're not talking about can it last in other areas. We're talking about on the football field, in the win column.
You, baby.
Can it last on the football field? Right now, there's 4 teams that are doing really well, that are at top of their division. 3 of them are 3-0. How do we feel about the Steelers being 3-0, first place in the AFC North, and they got a 2 lead on the Ravens and the Browns, and then they got a 3-game lead against the Bengals? How do we feel about them? Can it last?
So if I think about the division, Cleveland's just kind of all over the place. They didn't continue with the momentum from last year, obviously starting off bad versus the Cowboys. They struggled, man. And defense is going to be what it's going to be. Deshaun Watson just not panning out. So I just don't see them catching up at all. I just see this being kind of a roller coaster all year. They may play good one week and then but ultimately you can kind of see what they are. Cincinnati, they not showing me much. Joe Burrow has played better, but I just, collectively as a whole. Now we talk about Baltimore, you guys, I still feel like you guys are going to win the division. Very winnable game, week 1. A lot of mistakes you guys made. Clearly should have won week 2. And you guys just got your first win. But if you guys, when you get these leads, can hold these leads, like top to bottom, team's not better than you guys. I don't believe that Pittsburgh's better than you guys. I think defensively they're playing better right now, and they just have a great formula over the first 3 weeks. But is it sustainable? Yes. Do I think they can win the division? No. So, no, I still think Baltimore is going to win the division.
Yeah. All right, now let's go to the next one. The Vikings, 3-0, first place in the NFC North. Ooh-wee. One game leads over the Lions and the Packers.
Yeah.
Darnold does have a knee bruise, though. No structural damage, you know, but can it last?
Yes, it
can. I'll go first. I'm going to go first. I know you said this, but I'm going to go first. I think these dudes are for real. Why? Because Kevin O'Connell and Brian Flores could be arguably the best tandem in football, offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. They're
drawing it up.
I mean, they're electric right now on offense and defense. Their schemes are both tough. They're fun. They're different. They're swaggy. They just power to the strengths of their players. You have guys going crazy on defense. I think they got 5+ sacks in their first 3 games. Mm-hmm. You had Brock Purdy after the game say, woo-wee. Basically, he was seeing ghosts. I mean, he didn't say that. Don't quote me on that. But that's Flores, essentially he was saying. Hey. But Brian Flores is definitely getting them boys right on defense, and they're playing at a high level. I do think it can last of them playing well. I don't know about winning the division. It's still early for me to say that because the Lions are still for real and the Packers are still for real. I think that and the Bears are competitive. I just think that division, all in all, is going to be a bloodbath, just like the AFC North is every single year. I think that one is starting to become another one with those 3 to 4 teams all being very, very competitive.
Yeah, I agree, man. That's a tough division. To answer the question, yes, it is very sustainable because of the reasons you gave, man. Brian Flores, Brock Purdy said, man, your defense is tough. Brian Flores said, yeah, I know. He looked like, yeah, I know it was supposed to be. But the way they're drawing it up is just they're drawing it up on defense. Sam Darnold is playing lights out, and he's throwing to Justin Jefferson, arguably the best wide receiver in all of football. That's not fair. It's just they have a great collection of riches right now, and they're maximizing it. And that's just what it is. But to your point,
they're maximizing the strengths.
Yep. To your point, Detroit, yes, they lost to the Bucs, but then they shook back and they essentially kind of clearly beat Arizona. You look at the score, they only lost by 10, but the game really wasn't close all game.
Okay, what about the controversy play, though?
Which one?
The one where he was before the 2-minute warning, they said that the clock was dead, but it was set hike, and it was a pick for 6.
Oh, yeah.
And they called it the clock. And I know the clock is different from sometimes what the fans see versus the players. They have their own personal clock. I thought that was a crazy play, though.
Yeah, and that replay assist, man, they got to figure out when this replay assist applies and when you can use it, and they just got to figure that out. Whatever they don't want to call a review, replay assist, whatever the term you want to use is. This is McCoy and Van Noy. It's not NFL Network or CBS. This is a review. We ain't got to be politically correct in that aspect. It's a review, whatever. But yeah, man. But to your point, Green Bay is Matt LaFleur, man, that dude somehow
he's a good coach.
He just figures it out, man.
He's a good coach. I mean, he's got Malik Willis playing good.
I don't want to say he's like Mike Tomlin because Mike Tomlin has sustained this, but he's in that mold of just give me solid pieces and I'll make it work.
He's a good coach,
He's a
man.
good coach, man. He coaching it up, man. And
I
then Chicago.
remember going against him in 2017 when he was the offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans, and he had Marcus Mariota, and our game plan was, to go down there and make it hard for Marcus Mariota, and he's going to scramble, blah, blah, blah. No, this dude was sitting in the pocket making throws left and right, and then they were handing the ball off to Derrick Henry. They whooped our ass. But just the schemes and how he gets the most out of his guys is so impressive, man. Their guys are ready to play. Malik Willis comes in 2 weeks and is running the offense, not obviously perfect, but to a point where they're giving the Tennessee Titans, who have a pretty solid defense, problems. I also know they had a pick 6 in the game, but they're putting up 21 points or 20 points with Malik Willis. I mean, it's impressive, man. You got to give
Josh
credit.
Jacobs is running the lights out of the football too.
Facts.
He's
and
running
their defense
the lights.
had, I think, 8 sacks in the game. So
they're
just getting it done. But we'll go on to the next candidate last. You got the Seahawks 3-0. Mike Mack, former DC, getting them boys right in Seattle. They have a 2-game lead on the Niners, Rams, and Cardinals. What do you think about Seattle? Can it last?
I think Seattle is playing well right now.
There was kind of well right now, but there's a but.
Yes. I just don't want to write off the 49ers yet, dealing with some injuries. And they just kind of figuring it out. It's early, man. Killer. You got 2 Super Bowl rings. The first 3 weeks
it's
will
September.
lie to you. It will
it's
lie
about 4
to
or 5 weeks. I feel you on that.
Yeah, it will lie to you. And I like to go with the teams that I've seen have sustained success and they know how to win. So is it sustainable? I'm not sure yet. I can't answer that with the Seahawks. The 49ers, I'm not writing them off. They just cover, like last year, they had a couple rough games, but then boom, 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 Super Bowl. It's just, there's no Christian McCaffrey. Devo still, he's hurt. Kittle didn't play. They just all over the place, man. They going through it right now. So
I think it's too early too.
I'm not off the Cardinals. I'm not off the Cardinals.
That's what I'm saying. That whole division again is a super competitive division. You can see all 4 teams making the playoffs. They all have a quarterback that can distribute the ball. Offensive coordinators on all 4 do a really good job making it hard. Defensive coordinators make it hard. I think it's just a tough division. I love Mike Mack. I'm not saying it can't, and I'm not saying he can't either.
Right.
I just think it's too early.
It's too early to see. Yeah, we haven't seen enough to see, but I'm not off the Cardinals. No, I know I didn't expect the Rams to beat the 49ers because the 2 of the best offensive players they have were hurt. So it's like, what happens now?
But Matthew Stafford, man, and
he's one of those. I'm telling you, he's one of those award-winning chefs.
He's one of them ones.
I
think he doesn't get enough credit.
No, he does not.
I just think what he does, especially with the O-line that he's had to play with, it's impressive. But let's go to the last candidate. Commanders 2-1, first place in the NFC East. Did you see that coming?
Heck no, I didn't.
Do you think it can last?
No, I didn't see it coming. I watched them play against my Bucks, and I said, I don't really know. I will say this: Week 1. I didn't look at the numbers with Jaden Daniels. I looked at how he handled pressure, how he played Week 1, and how he moved around, how he ran the offense. And I said, hey, it's something to this kid. It's something to him, and he's getting better every week. Is this play that they're playing right now sustainable? Yes. Is winning the division? I don't know yet because Philly is hit or miss, but Philly is top to bottom the best team in the division. And Philly, if they play like Philly, they can really I don't want to say walk through because this is still the competitive division, but Philly's still the favorites in this division. I don't know where the offense is coming from with the Cowboys. If it ain't CD, I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know. Mike McCarthy, he's taking over play calling, but the play calling is just kind of, it's just real blah. It's like, where's the creativity and all the, and then you talk about the Giants, the O-line is playing better. Daniel Jones played much better last week and the week before. That defense, that D-line, man, that goddamn Dexter Lawrence, that dude is a monster, man. That dude.
Is he one of them D tackles that
He's one of them ones. And the thing is with Dexter Lawrence, he's still one of those two-gap type guys, but he still, that lets you know how good he is with the style that they're playing. But that dude, man, that goddamn Dexter Lawrence, he good. That dude's good.
I like him too. I think he's real good.
Right now,
what do they call him? Sexy Dexy.
Sexy Dexy.
Yeah.
He got 3 sacks on the year. And I feel like
that dance is crazy.
It's hilarious. But I think that as far as the question goes, yes, what the Commanders are doing right now, they're running the ball. They're running the ball very well. Jaden Daniels is running when he needs to. He's learning to slide and get down. He's so poised in the pocket. They got Scary Terry, really good weapons. They can get after the quarterback. They're playing like Dan Quinn got these guys playing really good football. And this level of football is sustainable. Now, there are levels to good football, but the level they're playing at, yes, it's sustainable. And nobody should think that the Washington, you're going to go in there or they're going to come see you and going to be a pushover. You are going to have
definitely not.
A rough day on your hands dealing with the Commanders moving forward.
Oh, yeah. I agree. And I totally agree. You're going to have a tough day on your hand with the Commanders. They're playing inspired by Dan Quinn on defense, and then offensively, they're getting their mojo with Jaden Daniels. It's impressive. I think now we're going to move into our Drive to Win series. Let's get into our weekly Drive to Win segment presented by Toyota, the official automotive partner of the NFL. Which performances stood out to you in week 3, G? Which ones?
Hey, man, I got to say, I got on TV and I had a little call out. I said things. I said some things about the Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackles. I said
about Jordan Davis and Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis, man. And it wasn't like a knock at them. It was just like the reason this run game went the way it went, the run defense went the way it went, is because the guys in the middle. They were too lateral. And I didn't see them slowing down what the Saints had going, man. The Saints were running and play action on 81% of their offensive output.
Wow.
Derek Carr, over his career, is 70% plus on play action. So I didn't see this happening based off what I had seen in weeks 1 and week 2. Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter said, hey, old head, shut up. We got this. And them boys went dummy in New Orleans. Hey, them boys went down there
crazy.
Before they went to Dini Seafood the night before. Then they pulled up. They brought some beignets. Hey, they said have the grilled oysters after the game. We need the Dragos ready after the game. And they said it's time to get right. And them boys went dummy. My drive to win, first 2 is the 2 defensive tackles for the Philadelphia Eagles, Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Gerald apologizes. But I need to see some consistency. One game ain't going to get it for me. I give you your 1 week. But I need to see it again. Who you got, Killer?
I saw Jalen Carter going crazy on the sideline,
because he was going dummy on that field.
Like,
that
I want my D tackle like that. I want my D tackle a little bit hyphy like that. Right. I like that. My first one, I'm going to go with Jaden Daniels. I was so impressed by his poise, like you said earlier. I mean, no punts in 2 games, but then what impressed me the most is the confidence he has. Just like you can see the affection that his teammates and just everything that's going on with Jaden Daniels right now is like electric right now. And then my favorite play of the other night was zero blitzed, getting to that point, call game. Scary Terry, does a stutter and go, and he drops a dime piece.
I'm talking about in the bucket.
Dime piece in the bucket.
And he took the
shot. Just knew he was getting hit. Like, that was impressive to me. like to stand in the pocket and deliver a dime for the game, to call game essentially. And Jaden Daniels is my drive to win for the week. That was impressive by the rookie.
Yeah, it was. My next one.
Who we got?
I had a rough weekend, man.
You did?
A rough weekend.
I know.
Oh,
Hey, Brigham, BYU had a little upset at the crib, though.
Man,
we smacked K-State.
I
don't know about OU, though.
That goddamn OU, man. We
people keep
hard.
showing
we
the
tried,
clip.
Man.
People keep showing the clip
like that in the SEC. You can't do it.
Yeah, I know. You see it? You saw the clip of him running down the sideline. Bye-bye.
Hey, man. Yes. Welcome to the SEC, whatever. Hey, y'all wouldn't have did that to us. Anyway, whatever. That ain't what I'm talking about.
Funny. I know.
That's my
good.
college team that I just, my NFL team. Man, we had a rough go at it. We had a rough.
Yeah.
That's the worst I've seen the Bucs play in a long time, man. And to cap it off, the Denver Broncos defensive line was getting busy. Those boys was getting busy. My second drive to win is the Denver Broncos defensive line, 7 sacks on Baker Mayfield, who's been balling out of his mind since he signed with the Bucs. Week 3 didn't look good, man. We had opportunity to go 3-0, first time since 2005, and the Denver Broncos said, "Hold up, player. Hold up, player. Hey, we ain't doing that." Now, I know you did your little interview, and it's cool, and everybody, Baker's baking and all that. Nah, you overcooked it. We ain't doing that. And they came in, and they did their numbers. So, man, my second drive to win, it's the Denver Broncos defensive line. Congratulations, fellas. I almost hit the Tyrese. Congratulations. But it's all good, man.
I like that pick. Yeah. I like how you give credit when it's due, no matter what, even if against your former team. I respect that. And I'm going to give credit to a defense that's playing lights out. They have played good offenses. They've won back-to-back weeks against very good teams. I'm going with the defense of the Vikings, the Minnesota Vikings. I think their defense is playing really, really well.
Yes.
It's led by Harry Hitman Smith. I'm not sure he's getting enough credit of how he is orchestrating the back end, getting that group lined up. Stephon Gilmore, one of my best friends in the league, comes in a week before the season starts, and you haven't heard his name really at all. And what's that mean when you don't hear somebody's name at corner? That means they're playing good football.
That means they're locking up.
That means they are playing good football. And he just had his birthday. Happy birthday, homie. 34 and out there still doing it. Them two are playing really good ball. But then I got to get even more credit to my guy, Andrew Van Ginkel. The Gink is just, he's all over the place. He was getting after C.J. Stroud, and then Jonathan Grenard had 3 sacks in the game, and then Kamu Grugier-Hill also had a pick. Those guys were flying around, just playing outstanding defense. I love it when my boys are shining, and, man, that defense is balling. Credit to Brian Flores and that defense, man.
And shout out to my guy, Cam Bynum. Hey, did you see Cam Bynum's celebration?
Oh, that was fire. That was one of the best ones I've seen.
All y'all out there hating. Cam Bynum. I seen your video, and see, this is how you do it. Kids, y'all want to learn something? Y'all want to learn something? Listen to Gerald. Listen to me. Take a second. All right? Y'all loved Odell when he used to do the celebrations. He prepped for those. He would practice them and he prepped for them. He knew what he was going to do. That's what you got to have. Cam said, there's a clip of Cam Newton out there. He said, come on, man. You got to practice. You got to be ready for your celebration. You can't just pull it out. You got to practice, be ready. Cam Bynum, he posted a video where he said, this is the plan for the celebration. I'm going to do the usher, and then I'm going to do the slide. He said, y'all tell me what y'all think. Y'all, I can't do it. My neighbors is right now, but when I get out there, he prepped for this. He prepared for this. He didn't just get ready for the game. He got ready for the celebration. He manifested his interception. He said, I'm going to get a pick, and this is what I'm going to do.
He called his shot.
I have to get an interception to pull off this cold-blooded celebration. He prepped, y'all. He prepped in every way possible. Cam Bynum, shout outs to you, player.
Yeah,
you killed that celebration. That was fire.
That was fire.
That was fun. And I
One
don't
of the
think you
best
understand
ones
how
I've
hard
seen.
it is to do that in cleats. Cam Bynum, man. Hey,
yeah.
shouts to you.
And too, you have to give credit to the teammates letting him have his moment.
They knew it, and they let him have his moment,
they
man.
Let him cook. They let
my dog cook, man. They let my dog get right, man. Hey, so that's our Drive to Win segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Holler at you in just a second.
We are back from break. How are we feeling, G? Are we
feeling
ready?
Great. I'm feeling
great. Okay, let's get into it. We got week 4 game picks. I'm excited. I like this segment because we're picking games for fun and giving our little juice on some. So you know what? Let's just dive in. Here we go. We got Saints at Falcons. How we feel about this? Both teams coming off a loss.
Yeah.
Both teams competitive. Like to see it offensively, defensively. They do their things. Falcons need to figure out maybe a little bit more on offense, but they're very, very good. They got a little juice on both sides. What we got? What we thinking?
This is a tough pick, man, because this is always – I was in that division obviously for 9 years, so I've seen how – this is like a real rivalry.
This is
like
the Bucs, real rivalry.
The Bucs, when I was there, we didn't win enough, unfortunately, to have a rivalry. We didn't really like the Saints. Nobody else outside of that, we really, we knew we were in the division, but we really didn't like the Saints. But the Falcons and the Saints is a real rivalry because you had Drew Brees at the top of his game. Matt Ryan was an MVP. So these were always like peak battles. So these two fan bases don't like each other. Being that the Falcons are at home, I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah.
I think what they're going to do is force Derek Carr to beat them with drop back. They seen the formula that Philly used, and they seen, okay, we have to force Derek Carr to beat us. We cannot let them get comfortable running the ball, get him comfortable in the play action. We can't let Alvin Kamara get going because one thing about Alvin Kamara, man, people talk about a turf monster. When we usually talk about a turf monster, we talk about like that's where it trip you up when you run it. No, that dude just on turf, that dude is a monster. Like he gets busy. So we gotta, I think that I'm gonna go with the Falcons on that one.
Yeah, I think I got the Falcons too. I like Jesse Bates and Simmons slowing down that back end. And then I think the Eagles ran the ball a little bit. I just think Bijan and Tyler Algier run game. So I got the Falcons. Rams at the Bears. I'm going to go with the Rams in this. They just shown me a lot last week. And I just feel like the Bears kind of struggling right now.
Yeah.
And I just like the Rams a little bit more.
Yeah, Caleb he's kind of all over the place, man. If you watch the All-22, he's just kind of throwing it up. He's really lost right now. And he played better, but it's really just like he's just throwing the ball up. So I'm going to take the Rams.
They need to get the run game going.
They got to get the run game going. But I'm going to take the Rams as well. I just feel like, Caleb, he's playing against one of his favorite players. So I think Stafford, knowing that, he going to show him like, hey, Mr. Miyagi over here, player. Let me do this. So I got Rams.
We got Vikings at the Packers. Who you like?
Whew.
This is a good game.
This is a good game.
Yeah.
This is if you guys were not on Sunday night, I would say put this one on Sunday night because this is a good game right here. I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
Ooh.
I gotta go with the Vikings, man, top to bottom. I feel like Brian Flores is gonna draw something up for their run game. He's gonna see how well Matt LaFleur can really make this thing go. So I'm gonna go with the Vikings.
I want to take the Vikings because but I got to go against you, right? I'm gonna go with the Packers. Jay Love's coming back. I think he's gonna give a little bit more to the offense. Defensively, they're playing good at getting after the quarterback. I'm just gonna take the Packers just because you took the Vikings. All right, Steelers at the Colts. I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I think they'll be 4-0.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm going with Steelers.
Broncos at Jets.
Jets.
Going to be a competitive game.
It is. But I got the Jets. I feel like they're starting to defensively starting to pick it up. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is starting to feel comfortable moving around again. He's starting to get his timing back. Alan Lazard is actually catching the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, yeah. I'm a go with the Jets.
I got the Jets too. Bengals at the Panthers.
Have to go to Panthers,
I
man.
know. I don't want to do it either. I don't want to do it either, bro. I really don't.
But man, hey, listen.
Yeah.
Here's another reason I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Andy Dalton has not forgotten about Cincinnati.
I agree.
Them coming into where he's at the helm again, I feel like Andy Dalton gonna light them boys up. So I'm going with the Panthers.
Yeah. I do too. I think it's kind of that not rivalry game. Sorry. What is it? Can you help me? Yeah, revenge game. Thank you. I've had plenty of my career playing now for my 5th team, so it matters. And I think Andy Dalton's got a lot to prove. Jaguars at Texans. I got the Texans.
I'm going with the Texans, man. The Jaguars don't look good.
Commanders at the Cardinals. Ooh, I like this game.
I do too, but I know Kyler. Kyler's not happy about last week, and yeah, I'm going Cardinals at home, man.
But what about Cliff though?
You're right.
But
Cliff can't play. He could just draw it up. He can't play.
I know, but he's gonna want to run it up.
He is gonna want to. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. If they get a lead, oh yeah, hey, keep going, keep going. Yeah, but yeah, I still got Kyler, man. Kyler.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I got
fair
Kyler.
enough.
Yep.
I'll take the Commanders in this. Why not? Patriot at the Niners. I think the Niners get right.
Yeah, me too. This ain't a given though. This
nope,
is not a given.
I agree.
For sure.
I think the Patriots come out. They felt I'm sure they felt embarrassed about that Thursday night game. I think they're going to come out and try to, they're going to go at the Niners for sure. Yeah. Browns at the Raiders.
I'm going to take the Raiders at home.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Raiders at home.
I'll take, division purposes, I like the Raiders, but I'll go with the Browns. I'll go with the Browns.
I got you.
Chiefs at the Chargers. Chargers got a lot of injuries. Derwin James out for the game with the suspension. I got the Chiefs.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs as well. The Chiefs and the refs. I mean the Chiefs. The Chiefs.
Oh,
the Chiefs. Guy. I didn't do it. What? I said that? Oh, shoot. Freak it. Hey, sorry. That's a word vomit. I don't know if you ever seen Mean Girls. It's word vomit. Yeah. Whatever.
All right. 2 Monday night games. I'm not a fan of 2 Monday night games. I don't know if you are, but
no, not at all.
The first one, the Titans at the Dolphins. This will be a very competitive game. I know their records aren't that awesome right now, but I feel like it's going to be a very, very competitive game with these two teams are trying to figure it out. Titans at the Dolphins.
Yeah, I'm going to go with... I don't know, man.
That's why I said it's like a tough pick.
I'm going to go with the Titans, I guess.
Yeah, I was going to do that too.
Yeah,
all right, Seahawks at Lions.
I got Detroit at home, man.
Yeah, I do too. All right, let's go to the 3 games that we're going to really talk about. Thursday night game, Cowboys at the Giants. Should we be worried about the Cowboys?
Offensively, yes. That Giants defense up front, for sure, they get after you, man. And they're going to put a lot of pressure on Dak. I don't know who
gets the ball out so fast.
Yeah, I don't know. He better. He better. I tell you what, they not running the ball. Not with Dex in the middle, please, man. Yeah. Heck no. They not running that ball. And this is what they better say. Zach Martin, wherever you see that boy go, flip. If he on that side, go over there. I don't know you're going to play both sides today. You're going to be like a D tackle today. Because if Dexter get on that guard, man, listen. Boy, look here. Hey, that guy dang Dexter Lawrence, man, that dude is good. So, offensively, yes. But defensively, the Giants are not very run heavy. They're going to attempt to run because the Cowboys are not great at stopping the run. They're going to attempt to run. But if the Cowboys do any ounce of stopping the run, This is where the Cowboys come into play. They can take the ball away. They can cover. But what they can do above anything else on that team is rush the passer. Micah is hungry. Him and D-Law, they had it out, but I know D-Law. He's going to take this personal. He's going to take it personal. What people are saying, Micah's not liking what people are saying. They're going to get after this quarterback, but they got to stop the run first. So offensively, yes, I'm a little nervous because of I just don't know who's going to get the ball. I just don't know. It just seemed like they're crumbling from the inside out. And so, yeah. Go ahead.
I think about it too. Like, I really did like the Giants' game plan against the Cleveland Browns. Daniel Jones, he for as much flack as he took, he played pretty good. And then they got the run game going well enough. They ran it 32 times for about over 100 yards. So I feel like they're getting a formula of winning. And then, Malik Neighbors, he's one of them ones, in my opinion. Somebody had an awesome thing that I wish I could give them credit of who I saw it from, but they said picking a LSU receiver is like picking a guard from Kentucky. You know they're gonna be good. I like that.
Yeah.
I think that is so true.
Picking an offensive tackle from Notre Dame, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
all
you
the
just
boys
know they're gonna be good players. I think Malik's one of them ones. I think it's gonna be a really, really close game. I have no idea who I'm gonna pick. Who you got? You got the Giants?
I'm gonna go out on a limb. And hope the branches. I hope it's strong. I've been 300 pounds my whole life. I'm under 300 now, though, because I just lost all this weight. But I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to take the Giants at home.
Oh, man. I kind of wanted to pick them, too, but just because you picked them, I got to go against. I'll take the Cowboys. Why not? All right, the next big game we're going to talk about, Eagles at the Bucks. Can Mayfield and the Bucks get a little sauce back after they lost some last week? And then can the Eagles build on the game that they had down in New Orleans? Can they take the trap over in Tampa? What you think?
In my honest opinion.
I'm always going to want your honest opinion.
I have to be honest. You cannot improve without honesty. We might be in trouble, bro. We might be in trouble.
Okay. I'm actually going to take the Eagles too, but you go ahead.
We can't rush. I didn't say I was taking the Eagles. I'm not picking against the Bucks, but I'm going to give an honest opinion. Hey, listen, we got a puncher's chance. I don't know how in the boxing you are, but when you got a guy who punch hard, that guy might be more skilled than me. He might have everything else, but if I catch him, I can knock him out. We got a puncher's chance. We just can't rush the passer right now. I don't know where the pass rush is coming from. I just posted on my Twitter earlier. Somebody posted a video and said, this is the Buccaneers 4-man rush. And I broke down everything that was wrong with the 4-man rush on that one play. But that's happening over and over and over. And you know what the Bucs' kryptonite on defense is? A running quarterback. And you're going to put one of the best ones out there against our defense? And then the way that D-line, especially those two guys inside, they just watch what just happened. They watch what the Broncos did. You don't think that they licking their chops? Yes, of course they are. I'm struggling to take the Bucs on this one because I just feel like matchup-wise, we just ain't got it right now. Vita's not there.
Matchup.
Kalijah's not there. We got a lot of injuries, man, and Baker, I'm not worried about Baker. Baker always has a chip on his shoulder, and he's seeing all the write-ups. He knows how bad he played. They know you got a first ballot Hall of Fame wide receiver you're not throwing to. And he's still in peak performance. He's still at his peak performance, and you're not giving him the ball. So Mike is going to get a heavy dose of Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's playing well, but I just collectively, top to bottom, I just don't think we got enough. Now, I'm picking the Bucs. Yeah, I'm going to take them, but I'm just being honest about the game. I have to be.
Yeah. All right, now let's go to the final game. The game I'm playing in, Sunday Night Football. Ooh-wee! Love Sunday Night Football. Bills at the Ravens.
For you're a two-time Super Bowl champ. When you're a two-time Super Bowl champ, you do this. This is a regular thing.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
a regular
is.
thing. You played on
Yep.
teams that are on. Then you go to the Baltimore Ravens. You
Yep.
guys are
I'm
on
prime
Sunday
time
night. All that. You
every
big
game,
primetime
G.
killer. Primetime killer. That's what you are. I played in prime time. My prime times was the mandatory Thursday nights. Every now and then, every now and then we got a Monday night game. I
Oh
played in
man.
one Sunday night game my entire career. One. And we
Yeah.
lost. And guess why we was on Sunday night? We had won a couple games, had an opportunity to make the playoffs, and guess who we played? The Cowboys. Of course they flexed the game to Sunday night. Of course they did. But the other times I was supposed to be with the Raiders, I got injured. We were supposed to have Thanksgiving. When I was with the Cowboys before I got hurt, we opened the season on Sunday night. So I was like, yes, Cowboys, 5 primetime games, it's up. Raiders, we was about to have 5, it's up. And I got hurt both times. So you primetime killer, I'm watching Gerald. So
I love primetime, G. I ain't gonna
yeah.
lie. When I got to the Detroit Lions back in 2014, you had guys talking about I've never played in primetime really. I've had like a couple games in my long careers, and I used to be like, what? And then the Monday night game against the Giants, my first game ever watching. I didn't play. I was injured, but watching Calvin Johnson on Monday night was like, oh, this is where it's at.
This is where it's
like,
at.
This
The
is
primetime
fire.
game, this is where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I went to New England, and it was like every game was at 8 o'clock,
gosh.
man. We had the late game like 7 times every year, and I just became a norm. And then now it's still a norm playing with the Ravens. I think we got 6 or 7. So I love playing on prime time. I like playing on Sunday night better than Monday night. I think Monday night away games are the worst, personally, just because you got to travel all the way back. You lose the extra day, all that, but Sunday night special, everybody's after, going to church, doing chores, doing their laundry, getting their week ready. They're sitting back, eating dinner, watching the game. You got the Bills, who are undefeated, coming to the Ravens. I mean, what a primetime game to be at. I love Bill Belichick saying, that he always said to us, he would say, Sunday, whoever we were playing, let's say we're playing, the Jets on Sunday Night Football. He'd be like, if you love football and on this date at 8:30 p.m. in Foxborough, Massachusetts, this is where you want to be. And that's how I feel about this game. At the bank, it's going to be lit. It's going to be awesome. The environment's going to be rocking. I am so excited. They're rolling right now. Josh Allen, you could say he's the MVP right now in the first 3 games. You could argue a couple other players, but it's going to be rocking. I'm very excited. I enjoy playing Sunday night. It's going to be a hell of a game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And there's some deeper things here. There's some arguments out there. You got Patrick Mahomes as number 1. The 2 arguments is these 2 quarterbacks, who's 2 and who's 3. There's some arguments out there, and seeing this, I hate the head-to-head conversation because they're not going against each other.
I do too.
It's
I hate
the
that
defenses, but seeing them both on the same stage, prime time, I'll say this about Lamar Jackson. Them lights come on. When them lights come on, I'll say that I'm excited to watch both of these quarterbacks lead their teams. My dog is coming off back-to-back 2 pieces. You think them lights gonna come on and he ain't gonna put on a show? Are y'all crazy? Hey, Josh Allen, watch your back because my boy is on the hunt. I'm excited for this one. Derrick Henry said in his post-game, his first 2 weeks, he was getting comfortable, not really playing how he wanted to play. He came to Dallas with a chip on his shoulder. Hey, this happened. It didn't go the way it went. I'm going to show y'all who the king is. I'm sure he's hearing everything that's being said about Buffalo and they rolling and the defense and this and this. I know King Henry going to be on it. I know the defense is going to be on it. I'm excited to see this one. I'm going to take y'all at home, man. I just feel like this last week, even though seriously, y'all allowing comebacks needs to be studied. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is going on, but it needs to be studied. But y'all are so good. Y'all get out at such a lead. Whatever y'all got to do to sustain that lead. And this guy right here that's coming in, he's not the person you want to allow to get any momentum. But at home, I feel like you guys figured some things out, got a formula going on offense, defensively, starting to figure things out, get back to where y'all were last year, slowly but surely. I'm going to take y'all at home. I think Buffalo has been rolling. But versus this group here, at home, y'all always play great there. That versus the Raiders was an anomaly. I know people going, they lost to it. That's an anomaly. This team plays great at home. So I'm going to take y'all at home.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
You taking the Bills?
I ain't taking nobody except us.
All right, y'all. Hey, listen. We going to close it out. This is the worst part of the show. Those are our picks. This is the end of the episode. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. Don't forget, we want to hear from you. Please send in your questions, video messages, audio messages, your emails, all of that. McCoy Van Noy at yahoosports.com. Comment, like, subscribe. We want to hear from you. Killer, you got anything to close us out?
I just need everybody to subscribe to us, follow us, rate us, tell your mom, tell your brother, your sister, your auntie, your nephews, all the people you love. Watch us, tune in. We appreciate y'all. Thanks to Brett, John, and Audie for all you guys do behind the scenes. Let's go. Another great episode. I appreciate the love and the passion you have, G. Every time we on the show, you do your thing. So I appreciate it.
My brother, hey, go out there and get it. Hey, you get to sleep in a little bit too, man. Get you some rest.
Just a little bit.
Get you some rest. I need y'all to get this win because the energy's going up. My boy, back-to-back two pieces. Hey, listen, sometimes we get full. We don't always want to get a two-piece. But if you go out there and you get, one piece or 1.5, sometimes we want big plates. And we say, hey, man, go on, give me double that two-piece up, man. I need 4 of them things. Whatever you want to do. Just make sure that the one that you bring home is the W. I love you, my brother. We love all of y'all. We are out. McCoy Van Noy. See y'all next week.